PNC News First is presented by the Bank of Guam, the People's Bank. Pizza Hut, we're taking pizza to where it's never been before. Taco Bell, the only place where you live Moss. Colgate, the #1 brand recommended by dentists. And IT&D.
PNC News First, broadcasting live in high definition from Tumon, Guam, on KEQI and KTGN, and on KPPI on Saipan. Here is your PNC News team.
Half a day and good evening. You're watching PNC News First. We are live from the Broadcast Center at Akanta. I'm Jolene Tovis. Thanks for joining us. Topping our newscast tonight, what you post online may endanger others in real life. This morning, a shelter-in-place procedure was issued at a local high school campus as a result of a photo posted on social media. PNC's Amanda Dedicatoria has more.
Half a day, I'm Amanda Dedicatoria, and earlier today, George Washington High School initiated a lockdown due to a social media post of a student claiming to have a firearm. According to Guam Department of Education spokesperson Isa Baza, school officials as well as Guam Police Department officers from the Gatnia Precinct and Highway Patrol Division launched an investigation to locate the student responsible for creating the post on Instagram. John De La Rosa, the spokesperson of the Guam Community College, says that officers searched the college's campus and could not find the student. And while it was not required, GCC initiated a lockdown as a precaution, and students at the University of Guam were also advised of the incident. Once GPD officers located the student at the George Washington High School campus, he then led them to a toy gun, which was discarded outside of the school property. GPD spokesperson Sergeant Paul Sapau says that as a result of the investigation, 3 male students were taken into custody and were issued a notice to appear in court.
Now this case is being classified as a terroristic conduct. There are still more interviews that needs to be conducted, and with every case that deals with juveniles or any individuals under the age of 18, it's forwarded to our Juvenile Investigation Division for follow-up or for further interviews.
Baza says that the students involved will be disciplined in accordance with GDOE policies and procedures, and GDOE Superintendent John Fernandez thanks GPD as well as the school personnel for their swift response in addressing the incident. Fernandez also says that he hopes that students will realize that what they do online can lead to serious consequences. Tapao also offered the same sentiment and advises others to be conscious of their actions.
We just simply ask the community, especially the students, to make better decisions about their actions, because there are always consequences in the end based on the actions that they or the decisions that they made.
Amanda Dedicatoria, PNC News.
The all clear was issued for GW as well as GCC at around 11:40 this morning. In other news, the prosecution threw the court a curveball on the eve of trial, deciding to amend the complaint against 3 of the defendants named in the case involving Gura board executives who are accused of conspiring to violate open government law. Let's take a look. Chief Prosecutor Basil O'Malley filed the amended complaint on September 30th, the day before trial was supposed to commence. The filing has resulted in a 1-day delay in selecting a jury. Superior Court Judge Anita Sokola expressed concern at the government's action, canceling the jury selection, which was scheduled for early this afternoon, and instead replacing it with a continued pretrial conference to review the amended complaint. In the amended complaint against Ronald Selvage, Cecile Suda, and David Sablon, the prosecution has dismissed several charges with prejudice, meaning the charges no longer contained in the complaint cannot be recharged against the 3 defendants. While the charges against Selvage remain intact, charges for Suda have been amended to reflect a dismissal of charge 27 and 28 in the original complaint. The only charges remaining against Suda are charges 12 and 13 for conspiracy. For former Gura chairman David Sablon, a number of charges have been dismissed, cutting it from 25 charges to 11 charges involving conspiracy, official misconduct, and violating open government law. In court today, Attorney Jay Ariola and Attorney Jacqueline Terlahi were present. Ariola represents Deanne Torrey, and Terlahi represents Rosie Blas. whose cases have been severed from the other defendants. It was noted that the complaint against these defendants will also be amended by the government. With the amended complaint filed on the eve of trial, Judge Sokola has given the defendants until tomorrow at 10 a.m. to file any amended witness lists. At this time, it is anticipated that the government will call 7 witnesses, to include former GURA director Michael Duenas, who took a cooperation deal with the government in exchange for testifying against the co-actors in the case. Also named as a witness is former executive director Ray Tapasnia, who has filed a lawsuit in federal court involving the case, as well as former GURA attorney Mark Smith, who is named in a federal case involving money laundering and fraud related to accepting payments as a Section 8 landlord, which is prohibited. Jury selection and trial is slated to begin tomorrow. In other news, without a clear and definitive opinion from the Attorney General's office on the position of Jotnya Mayor Jesse Blas, appointments to the Jotnya Municipal Planning Council, originally planned for today, will be put on hold. Blas, who was recently arrested on drug-related extortion charges, had not made any appointments to the body since his inauguration on January 2017. Dededo Mayor Melissa Savares, the president of the Mayor's Council of Guam, told Andrea Pelicani on News Talk K57 that she didn't realize until the mayor's indictment that Jotnya didn't have a municipal council. Savares said that it is important for villages to have municipal councils because they serve as the eyes and ears of the mayors.
We don't make decisions on our own. We have our planning council, who are also our advisors and assist us in making decisions for whether it be budgetary decisions or especially in cases of rezoning properties or with our NAF non-appropriated funds activities. They also approve or disapprove expenses.
According to MCOG Executive Director Angel Sablan, they appreciate the over 20 Jotnya residents that have expressed their interest in joining the council. However, he said it is best to wait for the AG's opinion before moving on to the next step. Meanwhile, the day-to-day operations of the Jotnya Mayor's office continue, and the celebration of the Jotnya St. Francis Fiesta will also go on as scheduled on October 6th. Well, don't go anywhere. We have up next the Veterans Town Hall meeting with the Veterans Congressional Delegation, or CODEL, is set for this coming Friday, October 4th from 5:30 p.m. to 7 p.m. at the Government House. Congressman Michael Sinicolas is hosting the CODEL and organizing the town hall meeting. The CODEL will feature the chairman of the Veterans Affairs Committee, Mark Takano, and members of the committee. The master of ceremony and moderator of the meeting will be decorated veteran and longtime law enforcement officer John Ananich II. Ananich was a police officer and a member of the Guam Army National Guard. Seating and participation is based on first come, first served, with doors opening at 5 p.m. this Friday. All veterans and members of the public interested in veterans issues are invited to attend. In other news, wanted man Jason Susuiko has self-surrendered to authorities a day after police sought help from the community in locating him. GPD spokesperson Sergeant Paul Tapau stated that he turned himself in to the domestic assault response team and was subsequently arrested on charges of first and second-degree criminal sexual conduct, family violence, and child abuse. He was booked and confined. Well, don't go away. On the other side of the break, we get into an investigation about human trafficking as well as an initiative to strengthen the island's labor force. Stay with us.